You've seen the photos. The brush clearing, the pickup truck, the ranch that became the Western White House. But what the cameras never showed you is the truth hiding behind those gates. Because George W. Bush's farm isn't just a getaway. It's a fortress, an eco-oasis, and the scene of some of the most secretive moments in modern political history. From a geothermal mansion that uses only 25% of normal energy, to a wedding that cost the Secret Service a fortune, to the mystery of the missing cattle. This is the untold story of a property that's worth millions, but priceless to the family who owns it. Welcome inside Prairie Chapel Ranch. Let's start at the beginning. The year is 1999. George W. Bush is the governor of Texas, but he's about to make a life-changing move. After earning a $14.3 million profit from selling the Texas Rangers baseball team, he takes that cash and buys a piece of land, 1,583 acres, about 7 miles outside the tiny town of Crawford, Texas. The price? An estimated $1.3 million. That's less than $1,000 an acre. But the seller wasn't just anyone. It was the Engelbrecht family, German immigrants who had owned this land for over a century. They raised turkeys and hogs here, but Bush had bigger plans. He tore down 5 massive hog barns and started building, not a mansion, a mission. But here's where the story gets interesting. The ranch wasn't just a home, it was a political tool, a symbol, a way to connect with Middle America. And it worked. But was it ever really a farm? Let's talk about the cows, or lack thereof. When Bush bought the ranch, the Engelbrecht family kept a herd of about 200 cattle on a portion of the land they leased back. That's a working farm. But then the Engelbrechts left, and the cattle went with them. The White House was asked, how many cows are on the ranch now? Deputy Press Secretary Dana Perino said, a few. When reporters pressed for a real number, she finally admitted 4 or 5. Former Texas Congressman Kent Hance famously joked, there are some guys that are all hat and no cattle. The president's not that way. He's hat and 5 cattle. But here's the shocking truth. That doesn't matter, because a ranch today isn't about livestock. It's about land ownership, recreation, and investment. And on that front, Bush's ranch delivers. So if it's not a working farm, what is it? The main house is a 4,000-square-foot limestone-walled structure, but it's what's inside that surprises everyone. Bush hired an environmental architect from Austin. The result? A passive solar home that uses geothermal heating and cooling. The system is so efficient that the house uses only 25% of the energy of a traditional home. Solar panels line the roof. Rainwater is captured in cisterns for landscaping. Wastewater is recycled. This isn't a ranch, it's an eco-hideaway. And then there's the pond, 11 acres stocked with bass. Bush doesn't ride horses, he rides a mountain bike. He calls himself a windshield rancher because he prefers to drive guests, including Vladimir Putin, around in a pickup truck. But the most surprising feature, the security. When the president is in residence, the Secret Service closes a 20-mile radius of airspace. No planes, no drones, just silence. And the agents themselves, they outnumber the cows. But despite all that security, one of the most famous events at the ranch wasn't a state dinner, it was a wedding. On May 10, 2008, Jenna Bush married Henry Hager at Prairie Chapel Ranch. 200 guests attended. The ceremony was simple, but the security operation was anything but. But that wasn't the only high-profile visit. During his presidency, Bush hosted Tony Blair, Vladimir Putin, and countless other world leaders at the ranch. It became known as the Western White House. And the man who built it? He didn't just vacation there, he worked. He held cabinet meetings. He made decisions that shaped the world, all from a limestone house in the middle of Texas. But what's happening there now? Bush still owns the ranch, but he rarely uses it. He lives mostly in a $5 million home in Preston Hollow, an exclusive suburb of Dallas. The ranch, however, remains active. Every year, Bush hosts the W100K mountain bike ride for wounded veterans. 40 miles of trails, a 2-day event, and a chance for the former president to give back. But the biggest surprise might be what Bush himself has said about the ranch. He calls it a slice of heaven, a place where he can be himself. But the truth is, Prairie Chapel Ranch is more than a home. It's a carefully crafted image, a symbol of a president who wanted to be seen as a man of the people. And that's the real secret. It was never about the cows. It was about the story. So, what do you think? Is a ranch without cattle still a ranch? Or is it just a very expensive vacation home? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see inside more surprising properties, click that video right here. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.